everybody, and welcome to another video of Rotaries and Jet Skis here. Today we're doing things a little different. We're at a car show, and not just any car show, we are at Radwood Atlanta. So for this episode, we went through and I got my family together and we brought out all the 85s. We got the 85 RX-7s, the 85 Ferrari 308, 85 CRX, and the 85 300D. So some of these cars you've seen on the channel before. I know you've seen this one and I know you've seen the Mercedes. But in this video, I will go through and give a walk around on the Ferrari and the CRX because I know you've never seen those cars in detail before. And then I'll go through and just walk around and show you what I think are the coolest cars of this show. It's going to be a much more laid back episode this time. No working on the cars, no driving of the cars. Kind of just walking around and showing you what is 80s and cool. So you've probably seen this car in the background of a couple of the videos before. This is my dad's 1985 Ferrari 308 Euro Spec. So we've had this car going on about 10 years now, but when we purchased it, it needed a lot of work. Everything was kind of dry in the interior. All this vinyl up here wasn't even black. The big thing though was under the hood. It needed a full timing belt service and water pump. And myself, my dad, and my brother, we all went through and replaced the belts and the water pump and everything all through the wheel well over there. It was a bit of a pain, but we did it in less time than what Ferrari said it would take and a lot less money than what Ferrari would have charged. It's had very few issues throughout the years. The brakes have had to be rebuilt. One time the parking brake got stuck on when you were what, like 40 minutes away from home.
It got hot.
It got hot. But beyond that, it's really been a totally reliable car. My dad drives it all the time. It just kind of works and it's cool. And like some of the things that, like I said about it being a Euro spec, we come up here, you can see it has a bumper that's more sunk in. It doesn't have the same 5-mile-an-hour bumper. The splitter is a lot lower to the ground. When it was brought over, it did change from the round marker lights to the rectangular ones. Are the mirrors different?
They're a little bit different.
The mirrors are a little different. It does have an American spec lid on it because the car has been rear-ended. A big thing, if you look under here, all of the emission stuff is not there underneath the back, so it has a much more free-flowing exhaust, and overall the engine makes a fair bit more power than the American spec one does. And this car is quick. Y'all have probably been able to judge like how quick the RX-7 is, but in a drag race this thing still stomps the RX-7, so it's even quick by today's standards. Not fast, quick. But overall, it's been a great car, and now y'all have been able to see it a little bit more than just in the background of my videos. Okay, now we're gonna give a walk around of my dad's 85 CRX SI. So you've probably seen in the background some of my videos before, my dad, as well as this car. So he's owned this car for a very long time. And I'll let him tell the story of this car.
Yeah, it's the first car I ever owned. I bought this car in 1986. This is an 85 Honda CRX SI. First year of the SI. Fairly rare car. They didn't make many of them in 85, a lot more in 86 and 87. It's a 1.5 liter, 91 horsepower, 1,950 pound car. I used to get well over 40 miles to the gallon in this thing, but back when it was new, I bought it 1 year used, but back in the 80s, it was actually a pretty quick car. It would run with the 944s. About the only thing that was really quicker than this that you'd see much on the road was a 5-liter Mustang. So they would do pretty good. So this car, like I said, I've owned my entire life, and I have autocrossed it a lot. I've track dated quite a bit. I drove it all through high school, all through college, and the first couple of years that I was working in my career. So super, super reliable car. It has about 150,000 miles on it now, and when I stopped driving it every day, it had probably about 147,000 miles on it. So it might sit a little bit more than I want to at this point, but super awesome car. My wife and I dated through high school and college in this car, and a lot of memories in it. A lot of memories for sure in this car, but very, very reliable, very awesome, very fun car to drive.
Yeah, this car is fantastic, and it really is as nice as it looks on the camera. Like, I dare you to try and find a nicer 85 CRX. And as rare as it is, there's actually another 85 CRX.
The non-SI.
Non-SI right next to it. But like, if you come around and look at the interior on this car, I mean, it is immaculate in there. From the door panels to the seats to the carpet, headliner. It is crazy. And then, what have you done to the suspension in the front?
So I put slightly larger torsion bars on the front suspension. I put the torsion bars out of a 4-door sedan Civic, so they were a little bit stiffer. And I put a rear sway bar on the car and front camber plates just to get just a half a degree or so more than I could from factory with it. Other than that, in the wheels and the exhaust from the muffler back, it's 100% stock, except for those things. And a shout out to anybody else that has an 85 CRX. Everybody likes to squeeze the spoiler. Please don't do that. Unobtainium. It's basically foam. It's just like kind of black painted foam. It's actually a little bit mushy, but advisable not to do that.
Yeah. Well, hopefully y'all enjoy these kind of more deep dive walk arounds into these cars. I know you've seen them in the background of my videos before if you're a regular viewer of the channel, and hopefully this satisfied your needs of being able to learn a little bit more about it. So for the rest of this video, it'll probably just kind of be a time lapse to me showing all of the other super cool cars here at Radwood Atlanta.